wanted to wait a bit before making a video on Clawdbot, which has gotten a lot of attention recently as a great open source alternative to something like Claude Cowork. It's essentially an AI assistant that's deployed directly onto your own hardware, whether that's a Mac Mini or something like an RTX 4090 that can host Clawdbot, giving you full control, privacy, and zero reliance on cloud platforms to automate pretty much anything. Clawdbot is positioned to be an AI that actually does automation. You've seen so many AI tools that promise that they can do automations locally, but this is something that truly does it. Things like clearing your inbox, sending emails, managing your calendar, even checking you in for flights, all from WhatsApp, Telegram, or any chat app you already use. For example, Clawdbot has been making trades off of this betting platform on a bet on who will win the Super Bowl this year, and it has access to X as well as this betting platform by researching news on X, researching related markets, validating signals with holders and news data through this betting platform to make the necessary changes and make a profit on this betting platform. Now, this is an algorithm that it was fully capable of building on its own, as well as fully autonomously researching on X to get the best sort of edge to make profitable trades. I know this is a remarkable tool, but you should definitely keep in mind the huge security concerns with it. The moment you give this fully local developed AI system access to your machine, you're basically handing it the keys to your computer with very few guardrails. On paper, it says that you have full control, full privacy, as well as no cloud usage with Clawdbot, but it is in practice an autonomous agent that can read all of your files if it's not in a contained sandbox. You can have it so that it can execute commands without pulling it through with you, installing packages, interacting with your network, and this could honestly become a massive attack to your computer if it's misconfiguring, compromising, or simply making bad decisions on your machine. If a sandbox is installed properly, that's totally fine, but I just wanted to flag this for anyone thinking about trying this. Also, just an FYI, the idea and system behind Clawdbot actually has been around for a long time. It's not something new. It's just been getting a lot of hype on Twitter recently, which is why a lot of people have been scrambling to try it out. There have been tools like Agent Zero that practically do things like Clawdbot, but even better, and it has been basically around for, I don't know, probably like 2 years now. Also, another thing, the Mac Mini Hyper on Clawdbot makes sense, but it's not necessary that you need to have a Mac Mini. It is definitely a compact, quiet, energy-efficient device that will always be on, and it integrates natively with many of the macOS tools like iMessage, Calendar, but it's not 100% necessary that you need it, because I've been seeing a lot of people saying that they need to buy a Mac Mini to run Clawdbot, but that's not necessarily true, because you can also run it with VPSs through Amazon's cloud service, or have it hosted locally with different OSs like Windows, even through something like iOS, where you can run it off of your iOS app, and Android. So you have a lot of flexibility in terms of using it. Just need to make sure you have enough RAM and CPU to handle the agent, and can maintain network access for any API or chat platform that you want to connect. To get started, it is super simple. Reference the docs before you get started to make sure you have the requirements, but it's simply just installing it with a simple command. And you also have the ability to actually host it on the cloud for free as well through AWS is free tier. So I'll leave this in the description below, so if you want to get started with any of these options, you could. Just note that if you are installing this locally, there are a lot of concerns with security, so just keep that in mind. Now, I'm a DGen. I'm going to be installing it off of my computer. I have a 4090, so I can simply go ahead and copy this npm install command. I'm going to be doing it with WSL. And once you have WSL loaded up, you can then paste in this command, which will start up the wizard to help you install everything. So you can send this in. This will take a couple seconds to load up everything, and we should have it running within a couple seconds. Now, they say the wizard is the recommended way to set up Clawdbot on any OS, so simply go ahead and copy this Clawdbot onboard command, which we can then send over to help us set up using this wizard. Now, there are a couple of things that you will need to follow through. You need to understand that this is powerful and inherently risky. Continue based off of your own discretion. Now, I'm going to click yes. and I'm going to use the quick start method to set this up. Next is selecting your model provider. You can choose any model provider. If you want the cheapest option, I would recommend using something like Minimax or GLM. Now, like I mentioned, this is something that works through a chat platform. This is where you need to make sure you integrate it first through a chat provider to have Clawdbot operational. So you can use it through WhatsApp, Telegram, Discord, Slack, and a couple of other options, and you can easily go ahead and configure that through the API. Then you have the ability to configure skills like you would with Gemini's CLI or even like with Claude Code. You have the ability to enable additional skill sets to enhance your Clawdbot's capability. Before we get started, I just want to mention that you should definitely go ahead and subscribe to the World of AI newsletter. I'm constantly posting different newsletters on a weekly basis. So this is where you can easily get up-to-date knowledge about what is happening in the AI space. So definitely go ahead and subscribe, as this is completely for free. And afterwards, you can simply go ahead and have it opened up automatically to your local host. And this is where you can now access Clawdbot. Now, this is where you need to make sure that it is actually running and has access to your gateway. You will see that it is connected, which means that it will work, but you have a couple of things. You have different channels that you can configure. Now, in this case, I haven't configured anything, but this is a way for you to link a chat interface for you to work with Clawdbot, as well as your cron jobs, your skills, your nodes. All these things are manageable directly within this gateway dashboard. This is something basic that I'm doing. I'm gonna have it create a desktop file and name it World of AI, and then we're gonna see that if it's capable of doing this. So in this case, it actually started writing and executing this task, and it has already even created this World of AI folder locally. I don't think I specified a folder, I just said a file, and you can see that it actually created it locally. Next up is another demo that we saw with the Cowork app, and that was where it was able to organize a bunch of files off of the local desktop. And you can see that on my desktop, I have a bunch of thumbnails that I have with lengthy titles. And now what I'm going to have it do is rename each file with a number and then categorize them in a folder called thumbnail. So what we're going to have it do is send in this prompt, and it is actually going to be able to accomplish this. Now, I'm doing this through the gateway dashboard. You can have many of these sessions executed through the CLI, through those different chat providers which I had talked about. And you can see that it found 6 PNGs already, which we saw locally I had placed. And you can see that it even provides a reference of all of the thumbnails, and it has done this task already quite quickly. It didn't even take that long in terms of executing this task. Now, if I'm to minimize this, you can see that this thumbnail folder has been created with all of the 6 different thumbnails. Thumbnail 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that is just incredible. Now, here are the skills that you can actually enable to make Clawdbot a lot better. And I highly recommend that you do so. That in this case, if you have it so that it has web searching capabilities, or that it can actually work with Apple Notes or your basic notes on Windows, it can function a lot better. There's so many different plugins that will make this even better than what we have currently, which is just a basic app. This is where you can make this into a fully configured AI assistant that works with any tool or any integration that you have, and it can interact with a lot of these different apps to automate a lot of jobs, whether that's Excel, using the web, as well as even interacting with apps like CapCut to even edit your videos. But I hope that this video was helpful in terms of helping you install Clawdbot locally. And I will be even providing the AWS installation method locally, which is actually available through the docs, and it is super easy to set this up if you do not want to have this running locally. With that thought, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video and got some sort of value. This is definitely a remarkable tool. I'll leave all these links that I used there in the description. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the second channel if you haven't already. Join the newsletter, join the Discord, follow me on Twitter, and lastly, make sure you subscribe to our notification bell, like this video, and please take a look at our previous videos because there's a lot of content that you will truly benefit from. But with that thought, guys, have an amazing day, spread positivity, and I'll see you guys really shortly. Peace out, fellas.